Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza, welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, as always, covering the hot topics of Transformers Earth Wars. So thank you everyone for joining me. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, guys. In today's... Apologies, that's a fire alarm, but it's not a fire, don't worry. In today's... Could it go any worse than that? The timing? I don't know. Take the battery out! I'll just stay in a minute. Can you guys hear that? I can hear it, obviously, really clear, but... Hey, there we go. So, welcome to another live stream, guys. But yeah, in today's stream, guys, there's been some changes to the new combat coming out. We're talking a bit about that. Keep you updated on how that's going with that event coming soon. We're talking a bit about base design because something else is... It's not a fire, guys. Don't worry. It's not a fire. Don't panic. Okay, let's try again. So yeah, we're talking a bit about base design. Yeah, I'm lost now. Talking about base design because something else happened which is sort of relevant to that. And so I just thought, I see a lot of people asking me, saying like, what's a good base design? Was it like, can you show me a good base design? And most of the time I say to people, go look at the top guys in the game. But I understand that not everyone has them cores. Not everyone might be at that level yet. But, so we're going to cover in maybe some, not high, not mid, not high, sort of in between, where you maybe HQ 17, 18, there or thereabouts, in a lower alliance, struggling with your base design. So we're going to talk a bit about that, on how to create your own base and the sort of do's and don'ts. I've done this a couple of times in the past, but I think it's really more relevant to HQ 18. Really, a lot more difficult now with the amount of bots we've got out. So talk a bit about that as well. We're going to be talking a bit about bots that I expect to be legacy bots and bots that I think will come out in batches and why. But obviously we'll talk about the new 5-star batch. Asking, you know, why has Space 8 done the things that they've done with the batch. If you've not seen the batch already, we'll obviously be announcing that. Well, you'll see in the newsletter, to be fair. We'll talk through that. I'm going to look through the changes, what I think of the changes, what I think of the batch on the whole. And we're going to be talking a bit about the 5-star economy after this batch and what that means. And then talking about some old cores that have really come relevant, that some people might have missed a bit of information, really. And I think it's really relevant to, again, sort of base design. So, yeah, loads of things to talk about. And as always, guys, got any questions, stick it in the chat. I will do my best to answer them. But in the meantime, let's see who we've got in the stream. So, we've got Trax Penny Lancaster. Yes, you are first. Thanks for joining. We've got Ricky Lau. We've got Hellraiser. We've got Craig Kendall. And we've got E-Rods. If you guys hit me up, because you were early to the stream, super early, hit me up after the stream. Sunstreaker was a Stash Crystal, where it's got like Spark and Shards, and you can win things like that. Literally, a guy hit me up last week and said, you know, I would love to say who it was, I can't remember, I'm sorry. But I get a lot of messages. So he hit me up and just said, listen, thank you, Wozza, with the Stash Crystal that I got. I opened some Prems. And I literally got the missing part for a combiner that I've been looking for ages. And that's what I want to hear. Do you know what I mean? Like, we do sort of giveaways, and I'm hoping the slim chance of you getting that jackpot bot obviously comes true. That's the dream. But I know a few people over the time that have said they've got a dupe 4-star that's got them the 5-star, and then they pulled the 5-star that they wanted, and loads of little things like that. And that's what I really like. I mean, that you sort of win something on the stream, and it's helped you to achieve something. So yeah. But hit me up, you 5 tracks, Ricky Lau, Hellraiser, Craig Kendall, E-Rods. Hit me up on Discord after the stream, and we'll get you a Sunstreaker was a Stash Crystal. We've got William Wilkinson too. We've got my brother Grind Time. Thanks for joining, buddy. Hope you're enjoying your toys. We've got Blade 19. We've got Carnage McIte. Who else have we got? We've got Cuddy Fox. We've got Dr. Claw, my good buddy. We've got Lou Mega. We've got Chris Harmon. Good to see you back. We've got my good friend Shani. Thanks for joining as well. Mr. Board. Highly Classified. Who else have we got? Joseph Torillo. Mr. Steeler. New to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I tell you what, hit me up after the stream. We'll give you a Sunstreaker Wozza Stash Crystal just for being new to the stream. How's that one? Who else have we got? We've got Simon Hayes. Thanks for being a member as well. Good to see you. We've got David Lee. Who else have we got? Billy Lawson. And we've got Berserk. We've got Big Ching, my buddy. We've got Hamburger. Ninja Master Builder, and I think that is everyone. I think. Grind Time was a Stash Crystals how I got all the bots in the game. If only, if only I could give 5-star bots out. Imagine that. Let's see what all the chat is about before we crack on. Oh, Grind Time's about the toys that he got. Some guy selling his collection. Have you kept them in the boxes? Have you talked about? There's a bit of, do you keep them in the boxes or not? I do know some collectors that keep them in the boxes, and I know some people are like, "What? Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever keep them in the box?" But I've done it with a few of them. But to be fair, I can see in the boxes, so I know some in boxes you can't. So I don't know. What do you think? And just a point on the new Transformers 1 movie, that it's out this weekend in America, and we don't get it till the 20th of October. I'm really not happy about that. So, if you are going to cinema and fancy recording it for me, then, thank you. But I might be able to get hold of it another way before then. But yeah, a bit annoying. What else have we got? A bit of talk about, obviously, Grind Time with his new toys. Was a bit jealous, not going to lie. Talking about Batch 16. Batch 16 will be out in the morning, guys. So, the plan for tonight, I'll actually do some last minute changes to the stream because there were a couple of these things I was saving for next week. I always sort of plan a bit ahead of my stream, usually a week ahead, and I jot some ideas down. I go, right, I've got the ideas for this week, and I start next week's sort of like around Wednesday-ish. But literally last minute, I hit Dale up going like, I planned to do a crystal opening with my daughter, maybe Jake. And Dale said, yeah, it's not going to be till the morning. So, no Batch 16 till the morning. And the reason for that is that there are some parts to that are bugged or something, not working right. Nothing to do with the 5-star batch, but something else as part of the update that they're sending out this Thursday. And they didn't want to send it out until it's right. And so that'll be first thing in the morning as they work on that, sadly. So, it is what it is, guys. I know, not the best, but yeah. What else? Bit of talk about Egg Ball, but no one cares. Let's have a look. What else? Try something else. I know, I'm fuming about that smoke alarm, not gonna lie. It's alright, it's in the wife's upstairs and the kids upstairs with the alarm. Sort of going off because someone's in the shower or something. Don't worry about it. Too bad you don't have a basement to put it in. Yeah, it's not Simon Hayes, save the toy collection first. Yeah, leave the kids. Just get the toys out. Yeah. Hamburger, I wish base design was less cookie. Yeah, it is clumbersome. It is a bit fiddly. Yeah, it is. Ninja Master Builder. I even... What's it again? Hang on. It's just skipped. David177, thanks for being a member. Much appreciated. Well, I'm lost now. It's just skipped right ahead to David. I appreciate being a member of that, but... um, where are we up to? Yeah, Ninja Bastard Builder said, if I ever had to change up my auto base design, I'd be mortified. Yeah, well, I change it every week or two, pretty much every week or two. What else? Everyone just saying to put the lamb in the bin, basically. Yeah, also what Phil's put, the point of a transformer is the fun of transforming it. Oh, I couldn't bother transforming it every day though. Like, no. Tracks. I take my toys out of the box, but I keep the boxes. Yeah, to take up space. To take up space. You got too much space. Just in case you sell them, I suppose are better in the boxes. Yeah. Have you seen the Transformers 40th anniversary trigger song? No, I don't want to. I'm a bit worried about that. Grindtime's put, if I can see them in the box, I'll leave them in the box. The one I took out, but it had already been out before I got it. Yeah, fair point. Fair point. Steve Pierce has put, disappointed your prediction for 5-star tracks didn't come through. I didn't predict 5-star tracks exactly. I think he will come out. I think he's got to come out, but not yet. He wasn't in my prediction though. I really thought the Trailbreaker would be in there, but no. I'm shocked. Vic Ching, yes, we haven't seen Jake for a while. Oh yes, he's that age now. Yeah, he's a proper teenager now. Yeah. But again, thank you, David177, for being a member, much appreciated. My aunt recently came back to the game after trying it out a few years back. Watched quite a few of your tier videos. Thanks for being so informative, like a newbie. Much appreciated. That's what I do these things for. You know, to sort of help people enjoy the game, get better at the game. This is always the reason. But yeah, appreciate the kind words. Ninja Master Builder, other than my bots not advancing to the next XP level, that's the only glitch I'm encountering. Yeah, they do. It's just a visual glitch, but they do. Yeah. Berserk, I've been holding off 5 stars after I got RIDU, Cronus, and Waspinator. Skipped the last batch. This one looks okay. 3 pulls ready to go. Yeah, same. I've got 3 pulls ready to go at least, which we'll talk about that in a bit. Welcome Anton number 1. I think I got that right. I hope. But yeah, thanks for being a member as well. So yeah, if you're in the stream as well, give me a shout as well. Let me know you're there. LJ Gaz put 5-star tracks won't be happening until 5-star Abominus is due. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I don't think it'll be the last one though. I really don't. I can't see them bringing all them aerial bots out for Superior. I'm trying to think what bots are out for Devastator. I think there's a couple missing for Devastator. I think as well, at least 2. I can't see them bringing all them out before they bring one out for Cutthroat for Abominus. No, not for Abominus. No, just realised what you said there. No. Abominus will be out. Yeah, because Abominus is easy. It's only Streetwise Sinner-Twin. Oh no, I'm Cutthroat. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm into Mind Wipe. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You are right. Sorry, I just lost where I was there for a minute. Yeah. Cool. Big Blaze put, while I'm going for after Nose Cone and After Breaker 5-star. Yeah. Yeah, LJ Gaz, but I know Superior equals Devastator, but I'm just saying there's a lot of bots for those, for them in Devastator. So I thought you meant that'll be the last combiner out. That's what I thought you were saying, but I think the Superior and Devastator will be the last combiner out. I think so. What do you think? Go ahead. Which 5-star combiner do you think will be the last to be released? I think either Magnaboss and Tripredicus, because there's 3 missing for both of those, or it'd be Superior and Devastator. I think they'll be the last ones. Because most of the other ones only need one or two. Minnesota and Victoria will be a hard one. But I think they need a rework. So I think we'll start seeing more of those. As we've seen sort of Computron bots. Going like bang, bang, bang. Because we had what? We had Nose Comb. Nose Comb and Endurance. We've had After Breaker in a batch. And then we had Lightspeed as a legacy. I think we'll start seeing that with Menasor and with Victorian leaving Cup and Dead End out like they have done with Trax and Cutthroat. I think they'll lead them to last in that, I think. But I think there's too many Superion bots. Well, they could just do, again, couldn't they? Could just do a legacy bot and they could do an endurance and then a batch and bang, all three. So you don't know. Candyman Dev should be the first one looked at. Yeah, but I think at the minute, if you look at things, they're looking at small wins, like easy fixes. And I don't think they are. I think they probably need the biggest rework. So I can imagine them bringing out, obviously, like I said, Superion, Lyle Kaiser, and obviously Galvatronus and yeah, Skyrim. I can imagine them coming out quite soon because they're just give them a 5-star ability like they have done for Ruination. Just give them a 5-star ability, good to go. Computron, bit of a, I think a 5-star ability with some sort of protection in some way. I don't know, maybe a hack in an area wherever he goes or something, or I don't know, something like that. Something interesting with them, just a 5-star ability. I think Opmax, bit of a buff, 5-star ability. But I really do think the Superior Devastator need a lot more work. And that's why I think they'll be last out. I think Defensor and Abominus just need a really good attack-minded 5-star ability. They've got the shield, they've got the HP. You know, they haven't really got DPS. But I think if they add a crazy, like, good 5-star ability, then they're pretty much good to go. Trax, I reckon that Magna Boss will be the last one. Superion, Victorian, and Magna Boss. Yeah, I think that'll be the last three, but it's like, you know, which one now? Trax has put, I think something will happen with G2 combiners. We did think that for a while, didn't we? We did, but I don't know. Candyman, next 5-star batch, be all combiner bots. Imagine. David Lee reckons Menasor will be the last one. Yeah, there's quite a few left, though. Yeah. Part of me also thinks that Cutthroat and Dead End will be left till the last, which is, you know, yeah, which is Defensor and Victorian. Yeah. Blade 19, what happened to the new combiner that was meant to be out? Don't know. Not a clue. But they're only out around this time of the year. So it's a bit surprising it hasn't been out yet. Bit weird. G2 combiners could be a skin. Maybe. Mario Zambiano, what do you think of Supercell Transformers promo? What do you mean? It's the first I've heard. Let me know what you mean by that. I'm intrigued because I do play a bit of Clash Royale here and there, just in between cooldowns and stuff. Nothing crazy though. But I didn't know there was a Transformers promo by Supercell. In what game did it do? I don't know. 5-star Computron just needs some health so it doesn't die so quick. Yeah, some sort of survivability. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But Big Blades put Comp can solo Zone 15, but only barely. His 5-star ability should be an offense ability. But one person said we need some sort of shield to keep him alive, and then someone said we need more attack. So, you know, you can never win with these things. Goody Fox, my Sky Rains, and a combiner beacon keep Ruination and Magna Boss with the 2 offensive bots. Yeah, that's pretty much standard, really. I like to put Computron in the outpost personally. G2 combiners can't be just skins, as Alpha Brow will have to be replaced by a slingshot. Yeah. True. I'm just intrigued into what Mario Zambiano put about the Supercell Transformers things. I'm tempted just to Google that dead quick, find out what it's on about, because I'm intrigued with that. Let's have a look about it. Oh, it's in Squad Busters. Never played it. Not interested. No, Squad Busters. What I think? Well, I don't even play Squad Busters, if fair. So, no, I'm not impressed. No. I thought we'd see something else then, but yeah. Grand Transport. I still think they need to start with the first for these combiners and work back. Yeah, well, they should, but I don't think they will. What was it? Was it agree on basis and be competent on defense? What? Yeah, I just think that you've got the possibility, if they time it wrong, to hack their opposing combiner, and that can really knacker up an attack. And although, it's slim chance if they're a decent player, there's still a chance. So yeah, cool. All right, let's kick on to the news. Let's go from there and let's cover some subjects. So, bar week, grind out week, ninny bong. This week's event is called A Small War. Weekend's event, 40 aerial crystals. Aerial crystals? Just full of airbots, I presume. We had the medic crystals, so I presume it's aerial class, not the aerial bots. So yeah, 40 of those. War for Cybertron skin coat. Not sure why that's even in there anymore. Has anyone actually got any missing? The War for Cybertron skin coats? I've got them all now. It's just some more 2-star shards for me. Or 3-star shards, I think. Yeah, 3-star shards. We've got 2,500 4-star shards, 7,500 3-star shards, Troop XP, some good spark, alloy and energon. A pretty standard event for 10k, pretty chilled. Just a few crystals in it. Nothing major. Normal battle zones apply. Game updates and information this weekend only. So in this weekend's event, we're celebrating the Beast Wars anniversary. So I did hit Dale up and go, where's the anniversary celebration? Like, what's going on? What we're doing? You'd think for like a Beast Wars celebration, they wouldn't do aerial bots, they'd do Beast Wars bots. And you'd think they might give you like a 4-star Beast Wars character or something. Like, I don't know. I just don't think, like, they'll say there's something in the pipeline, but I think it's a bit late now. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the anniversary this week, isn't it? This week now? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure exactly the exact date, but I'm pretty sure it's now. So, yeah, I don't know. Someone in the chat will know a lot better than me, and someone will be able to Google it, but, I was a bit disappointed, really. I thought it'd be a really, really good event. I thought probably a very big event. Giving something decent away. And, literally nothing, really. So, yeah. But, they're going to give some buffs to the Beast Wars bots. They're going to give them a 15% damage increase, 10% health increase, and 10% movement speed. Now, that's per bot. So basically, if you create a team with 5 of these in, you'll get 75% damage increase, 50% health, and 10% movement speed. Just 10%, or the log at 10%. Yeah, but because they each get 15%, that's not 75% damage increase, is it? That's not 75%, it's 15% still. I don't know if they got confused there, because that sort of annoys me a bit. Like, over the whole team, but it's misleading. So if your bot does 1000 DPS, it's not doing 1750, which is 75% increase for that bot. It'll just give you 1150, which is 15%. Not 1750. So it's not 75, it's 15%. It doesn't stack like that. Math baffled me when it's done like that, anyway. But then also, Magnabots and Tripredacus have had a 40% damage increase, but then 40% less damage received also. So a bit of a buff to them. It had a buff last week, can't remember exactly what buff it was. But everyone sort of said, no, I didn't really use them because they're still not as good as God Neptune Rumination. Still not as good as them. So a lot of people didn't really utilise the buff to Mandiboss and Tripredacus, but I'd be interested. I wonder if that's in Wars. I'd be interesting to see that. I'll ask Dale. If that's a 40% increase and 40% less damage received in wars, then maybe. Then the 5-star batch is finally here. I was a bit disappointed at the timing of this because literally I did my stream the other week, did a video, I think it was over the weekend, made it, put it to my members with my 5-star predictions. Monday comes, here's a 5-star batch. I was like, alright. So I was like, well, I've got a 5-star prediction video here that's going to release some point in the week or two. Now it's kind of outdated a bit. So I released it on Monday and literally had people going like, you know, the batch just got released, like the information like a few hours ago. I was like, yeah, I know, I did this video like over the weekend for my members. And Space didn't even tell me they were going to do this. So it was very quiet, but it's a bit weird because they announced that and then told all the playtesters. Then the playtesters have had like 4 days to make sure the batch is sort of right. But then some things are not even working in playtest, so they've not had the chance to do that. So just again, it just seems like they just rushed it and just gone like, oh, let's do this, bang, let's do it now. Well, no, you didn't need to. Like, they could have easily gone, we'll do it in 2 weeks' time, you know. And I think that's why it's took till tomorrow rather than today to bring the batch out. Just again, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of saying it now. They just don't plan ahead. They just don't plan ahead and go, you know what? A 5-star batch is probably due half through the year. We'll do that in August. Right, okay, I'll set a reminder. End of July, 5-star batch, end of August, reminder. Done. Right, we've got a 5-star batch towards the end of the year, around Christmas time. Encourages people to spend a bit and something good for Christmas to level if they want and something last little present for Christmas. Right, end of November, 5-star batch, in testing, put a note in the calendar, bang, don't forget that. Christmas, calendar, bang. It really is that easy. And the calendar should just fill out and go, oh, right, what was it doing? Oh, right, yeah, that's coming next. We need to do that. That's coming out in a few weeks. Right, let's do that now. I don't know. I'm not here to sort of fix their inner workings, but I just don't, especially with things like this, because it's very easy to do. Just create a 5-star batch. One of the easiest things they can probably do in the game, especially the way they've done it. So easy. I don't know why they rushed it. I don't know. But they've put, we're happy to announce that the 5-star batch is coming this week. It might come as a shock, but don't let it be. It's a shock because no one even knew about it, apart from you guys. We've been behind with our 5-star bots for a while now, and we do indeed need to catch up. Yes, you do, but you could just release more 5-star batches. But with more legacy planned and endurances coming every 8 weeks, we will soon find ourselves behind again. And it's amazing this, because literally I did a video last January, Christmas, literally saying they're going to get behind with these bots and they need to pump out more 5-star batches. Literally. Weird that, innit? Luckily this batch this batch needed next to no work, 3 solid endurance bots and 2 tweaks to Nils, Conan, Drillhorn and Hover Lockdown. So we'll talk a bit about that in a bit anyway, but yeah. And then as you can see there, we've got the aerial bots Beast Wars anniversary. Then we've got a combat event with the 40th anniversary next week as well. Oh, well, maybe it's, yeah, okay, well, maybe they might do it next week, the big anniversary event. But you would think they'd announce something prior rather than leave it last minute. You know, it's only a week away now, and they've not announced anything at all. Then obviously shout out to the Discord moderators and obviously our content creators, myself, Freezus, Max and Soldier. Still feels weird not saying Engineer Hoist, but go and check them out, guys. Community Corner. Yep. Not sure who that is. Is that Star Saber Middle? Is it? I don't know. Who is that? I don't know them two are. Let me know in the comments who them two are. I ain't got a clue who them two are. A lot of Decepticons, but I don't know. Then we've got a couple of people just talking about bots. This really annoyed me. So, when they've done the staff picks, they spoke to them and gone like, you know, who's your favourite bot? And they'll talk a bit and go like, oh, I like it because of this. And you can tell it's that person speaking. This is literally just copy and pasted from Swindle's bio. So, why couldn't Hyro give us his thoughts on the bot? I'll guarantee if you Google that, you'll probably find the bio somewhere. I'm not having it for 1 minute that Hyro has written that. Not a chance. I'm not having that. I am having that that is a bio somewhere that they copy and pasted. Someone go and Google it for me now. In fact, I'm going to Google it now, actually. I'm going to Google it. Yep, and it's from the fandom. It's literally from his bio on the fandom. Literally. So it's literally from the Transformers Earth Wars website. Like, would it be that hard just to actually give an opinion and go, I like this bot because of this? It just shows a disconnect again. Like, it just really disappoints me. Like, why could he not say, like, why does he like Swindle? Because he not because listen, I had the toy as a kid, maybe, or it was the first Transformer that I worked on, or something bespoke, something that matters to you, rather than just copying a bio. It says here, this week's Hyro has joined us to share his thoughts. So his thoughts are, just copy the bio. It's just awful. Really, really annoyed with that. Really, just shows a lack of even giving a crap. Really does. Really did. As you can tell. And then bug fixes. So yes, good to see some bug fixes. So CL and Ozu been fixed to show some inaccuracies. You've invested over level 5 of CL. Because Ozzy was unaffected, please write in. They'll refund your combat spark for however many levels you wish. The 4-star now correctly shows the correct stats. Yes, so the 4-star was showing the 5-star stats, so it's been decreased, I think. No, it's not a nerf. They've increased Grimlock and Razorclaw stats as the 5-star was inaccurately scaled. So the 5-star has been buffed, in other words. When I say buffed, yeah, it's been fixed. It's not been buffed. But it's been improved. I think it should have been done. There you go. Beachcomber and Deluge were making spiders invisible. So there's nothing sort of like, making visible and making spiders invisible. So that's alright. Bombers couldn't equip Cosmic Rust. Being a bot, didn't even know. But there you go. An Alliance HQ Defender perk wasn't granting effect at level 5. So that's been fixed as well. So yeah, cool. Good to see some bug fixes. Then the team stream is next week. So no doubt next week they will show the new combat. And probably announce the new bot as well. So we'll talk about that next week, whether it is. Not a clue what it is right now. But yeah, they'll probably announce the new bot as well. Because after this, it's another 4 weeks to the next stream. Yeah, which is the middle of October. 4 weeks. So maybe, yeah, I think I'll announce it next week, I think, because they can't, because the new bot will be after the stream then, I think, or just a week before of the stream. So I think, yeah, they'll announce it, and then in 4 weeks' time, it'll be the week before the bot. So we'll probably see the new bot in the stream on the next Thursday, so go and check that out as well. What have we got? Oh, and Dale's in the stream. Good to see. So I think Dale's have cleared up that it does stack. So it's 75%. So it's 15% per bot stacking up. So you do get 75% per bot. I think it's put there. Just DPS and health, not wars. Okay. What else? Yeah, so yeah, Earth Wars is coming to PC. I weren't going to mention it until Dale has just mentioned it. So yeah, it is coming to PC. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to be a bit of a guinea pig next week, I think. I'm not sure it'll be available all the weekend or not, But if you're not comfortable doing it, then wait for me next week, guys. Because on Monday, I'm literally gonna, I think Monday, maybe Sunday, something. I'm literally gonna go through it, download the game, try and get on Google on that and my test account, and that should obviously help my streams, I think, a bit as well. So hopefully. Yeah, I have an Android emulator as myself as well. Who else we got? Candyman, new 5-star batch is a big letdown for players that hit all endurance and legacy events. We'll talk about that in a bit as well. Kill Sucker, high rolls thoughts on the box. Money. Do you know what? I would be more happy with the bio if he said I like Double Dealer because I like money. I'd give him more credit for that. I would actually think that's quite funny. What else? Looking forward to Grimlock buff. Yeah, I might go and pull Grimlock maybe. Steve Pierce thinks it's Callum that's doing the newsletter, but you're right, it's awful. Who cares about the favourite bot? At least they're doing something though, putting something else in there though. But I don't mind that. But I would rather them ask people in the community rather than the devs. But I don't mind it as long as it actually is there. Don't just put. I hope not, but I hope that they're not just put Hyro and done that just to fill a spot. Because Hyro didn't get asked. Because that's pretty bad. Because it looks like he's getting some stick. We shouldn't be. So does anyone know what the best colour core is, please? I just bought the Optimus Prime pack as I wanted to try and get the Force, and I got a core with a dark blue outline. I presume that's the purple ones. So there's one with a silver outline, one with a gold, one with a purple. So the purple one is G Metal, and they are the best cores in the game. That is the highest one. What else? Oh, Mayan got 4-star Optimus too. Well done. Future reference though, if you're a newer player, it should be a new player bundle where you get 4-star Optimus and 4-star Megatron. If Dale's in the chat still, that's still available to players, I hope. That was a really, really good bundle. I think it was like $20. So I'd advise new players to go and buy that without a doubt. Grind time. Yay for adding it to PC. Yeah, it's about time. Ninja Master Builders, but I'm hoping the next Mayhem is easier so that way I can more easily get the Endurance 5-star since I did try to get Lightspeed. I don't think it'll be easier. I think it'll be the same. I think that the lower zones will be triple the points, but I can't see it being much easier because it's literally available free to play with the Battle Pass, which is only $10, $20 to get it. So I can't imagine it being any easier. I can't imagine it. What else? Cool. Right, let's go into the game. Let's talk a bit about some little subjects I want to talk about. Cool. So the new combat. So we have had some changes to the new combat. So there's been a lot of feedback from myself and from all the playtesters, really. I don't think there's a single playtest that's gone, oh, we really like this combat. Been a real negativity around it. And the apes, sadly, they still work with these surveys. And I don't like these surveys because the surveys are very black and white. And they'll go, let's say this combat needs a complete rework. And it goes, do you like the combat as it is? No. Or yes. No. What do you think it needs? More health, more ability damage, more DPS. And they'll probably put more health. But it's not health. It's more like a shield or some way to survive. And so to give you an idea, the change they've done, thank you for the feedback. they've reduced the movement speed with proximity of the equipped bot by 18% to keep them with the squad. I don't think that matters. I don't think that changes anything really. The equipped bot death effect has been entirely removed by request. I said it was pretty awful having any death effect. I mean, the death effect's better than nothing, but they removed it. So, hey, I don't know why I remove it. If you're going to remove it, then make the bot a lot better. But knockback immunity has been added to make them more steadfast. I don't think anyone said that. That matters. The transmitted heal effect now scales based on star level. That's okay, that's fine. That's not an improvement, though. That should have been there from the start. The absorption shield remains at 30% active, but not previously stated. This shield returns immediately if removed too. Right, okay, but considering FFD is one of the most used cores in the game, we talk about shields not being very good anymore. But yet they're giving it a shield. The shout buff area effect has been increased by 100%. No one really cares. The shout buff visual issue has been fixed, and the shout buff effect cast range has been increased. No one really cares. Listen, I did not look at this combat for 1 minute and think, oh right, I like the combat, but the ability, it was a no-go from the start. And it was no-go, not because of the ability. I didn't even try the ability. I didn't even bother with the ability, because it was that poor in terms of surviving. Have they made it better to survive? We'll find out. Let me just save this layout a minute, because I want to do something later on. Okay. So, just a normal design that I've picked up. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I am going to move this over a bit, get this out of the way. I just want to see how this new combat survives. So, I want to take the outposts away, because that can just absolutely cripple our boss. But we're going to have a look at this in a minute. So, we'll use Snarl. 57, nothing major. We'll put a new combat on. Yet to be determined. The mystery. Primary hard battle. So I imagine that Snarl might die quite quickly, but let's just see how this new combat copes now. Does it improve Snarl in any way? So there's the new combat, dropping behind him. There he goes. It's died faster than Snarl did. So, just to prove a point, let's put a couple of bots down here. Let's put some decent tanks down side of it, so that hopefully, like, it doesn't take as much frontline damage, maybe. Let's try again. So I'm going to put Dinobot down first. I'm going to put Slug down first as well. Then I'm going to put Snarl down behind them. And let's see if the combat can stay alive and do anything. So let's have a look. So there's the combat there at the back. So we slowed down a bit. But now look, the mortars have hit. He's run forward and died. The point being is, they can buff this ability to 10 times what it is now. It won't matter, because the combat is dying like that. And it frustrates the hell out of me that they don't see that. I said in last week's stream that I looked at this combat and said straight away, it's going to struggle to survive. A melee combat is awful. We've seen that with Gale. We've seen that with Night Stalker, Ravage. Excuse me. We've seen that with melee combats before. They don't work unless they've got a ridiculous amount of health. Now, you can say that Big Daddy sort of gets in the thick of it, but as soon as an outpost pops, he stops and starts shooting at them bots from range. And so as your team moves forward, he sits well back. And this bot just runs ahead. You can give it the slowest speed possible, but it's going to catch up eventually. And it's going to die in a heartbeat. if the apes are testing this in like Zone 14, then they need a wake up call, because this is honestly probably the worst combat in the game. It's definitely up there with Dial and Night Stalker, and I don't know anyone that would suggest to anyone to use Dial or Night Stalker as a preferable combat. Now, don't get me wrong, when people say like, yeah, but every combat is useful, yeah, if I had this combat, I'd put it on someone just because it's better than nothing. But not much better than nothing. And if I'm attacking in Zone 14, maybe Zone 15 at a push, it might give you a bit of a DPS increase for a while, just to help you get through the base. But there was no way I would be using this in any war. This guy would not get near my war team. You might as well not bother putting a combat on. It is that bad. It's the same thing pretty much. Really, really appalling content. And it worries me that this is out next week, and we're still a million miles away from the level that it needs to be. Million miles away. I don't know what to suggest, because I don't think they can turn it around in time. My suggestion to people right now would be that go and clear the current 5-star batch of combats. Go and clear it, because after that it goes downhill very quickly. I mean, we had CL, who's basically a rung 2.0, so why go for that when you got rung? I can't remember the last one, it was that bad. I'm sure of it. I can't remember the last combat. Was CL the last combat? I don't think it was. I can't remember. And this one's just simply awful. I think Jazzy was pretty good. I would go and pull him now, and then stop with this batch, and literally forget this batch ever existed. It's quite sad, really, that we've got a new ape on called Sandstorm. He's obviously new to the team, wanting to maybe make an impression, and his first impression is to create a combat so poor. I don't think he's doing this on purpose. I literally just think that he's been given the tools for this and said, listen, we're creating a combat, because he said it at the start, we're creating a combat, it's a frontline melee, he's light trip up, and right away I was like, this sounds awful. And he's been given the tools to start with this. It should never have been melee in the first place. Never in a million years. If this would have been a ranged combat, and it said a ranged combat that has 20k health and 370 DPS, I'm like, alright, that's quite good survivability within range. That's not bad. Every 10 seconds sends an inspiring shout to the equip bot, granting all allies in range DPS on normal attacks. It's not too bad. And the equip bot transfers 30% of their DPS as healing. To this combat, if it was in an area, the equip bot that has this combat has like a healing, a DPS and healing 30% increase in area. It wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't be saying it's awful. You know, but the frontline bit, it needs to be given range. Give it range, then we'll talk. Then I'll even start testing it to see if it's even any good. Right now, I couldn't even tell you. It's that bad. I mean, I feel like I need to go and test it in a lower zone, just to see what it does. Because I've never seen it do anything, because it's died so quickly. Let's see what it actually does then. Let's put this one in. Let's put Optimus over here. Does it inspire them and bring them both together? So there's its shield. Why is this inspiring shout? Is it literally just healing and DPS? What's this inspiring shout? I thought it'd be dragging people around like Optimus Prime, like dragging bots together. This is worse than I thought. Is it just healing and DPS? Is that all it's doing? Does it do this to any bots in range as well? That's my Chronos, so no. I think this combat's a write-off. I really do. I think it's really, really badly designed. Thought behind it is not very good. I can't blame the new 8 for it, because he was handed this, I presume, handed this at the start. I mean, for all I know, it could have been behind the scenes for the last month designing this. I don't know, but whoever's thought this design up needs a serious reality check. It's so poor, and it even worries me that we've all given feedback on this and how bad it is, and even the changes have not changed what is wrong with it. The fundamental problem is a frontline combat and dies quickly. That's the fundamental problem, and giving it a shield will not help it. Plain and simple. What else? So what everyone's sort of saying. Wow, that was brief. That's what Grant has put. Steve Pierce, but wow, that combat preview was the equivalent of Elon Musk smashing the Cybertruck's unbreakable window. Killsucker's put, obviously the devs don't play a game at a decent level. I think Yanis does, but Yanis doesn't have much input in the cinema. Dr. Claus, but this is why I like these streams. Yeah, I'll always be honest. That's a mayhem mode I thought was absolutely unbelievable, amazing, and this is totally different, total opposite end of the coin. Blade 19, I missed it. Can you slow that down, Wozza? I know it was that quick. What else? Ninja Master Build. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore this new combat. Yeah, and it went. Killsucker, I switched rung for CL, like reflection and an extra 2 seconds of duration. Yeah, I like rung myself, but yeah, I get it. But I just think if you got rung, then CL's not a massive improvement for the 5-star anyway. What about a combat that blocks all damage like Hot Run's skill that popped every 15 seconds or 5 seconds or something? You mean invulnerability? Yeah, it's not too bad, yeah. OP, but sounds good. Grind time. Shh. Be quiet. We're trying to hear an inspiring shout. For some reason, when I read that, I thought it was going to say, shh. I'm trying to hold the wabbit. Be very quiet. Trax Pelanka's spot. I went for CL, but I'm not going for this disaster for combat. Yeah, but you know what I mean, like, but the problem is though they could change this round next week, and you're like, I've literally been banging on about this for weeks. Dr. Claw just saved us a bunch of money. Sad, isn't it? Yeah. Killsucker, let the hackers win the leaderboard. Oof. Cuddy Fox, I still think we need another aerial combat, another gunner combat, definitely. Yeah, but agreed though. Trax Palanca support. I put my 5-star seal on Retgar as he's niche for my blue streaker. On my backdoor team, freed up my 5-star rungs, put Minerva. Win-win. Fair point, yeah. Grand Times put hashtag boycott the leaderboard. I'm not going to boycott it as such, but I'm just not going to bother. There's a difference. I'm not boycotting it going like, boycott the leaderboard. But I am going to go, don't bother. Cool. Right. Next up. So, I want to talk a bit about base design. And I think we're best off going to my actual account for this, I think. But how about SA moving the goalpost again on the stream? Yes, let me know what you mean by that. So, first off, some news. So, I've been asking Dale for, well, not just Dale, even Dale's predecessor. I've actually even hit higher up, I think, at one point, years ago. I would say for the last 4 years, maybe, I've been fighting to get my name in the game somewhere. Because I said to Dale, I said, not everyone has the newsletter and reads the newsletter. I think that was apparent when we got Mayhem mode. Because a lot of people were going like, what the hell's going on? What's this? And it was in Discord. It was in, the newsletter. But not everyone reads every part of Discord. And not everyone reads the newsletter. They're just happy with whatever event comes along. And I'll ask people in the event, oh, what's this weekend's event? And I get that everyone is on YouTube either. So I said to Dale, what would help me massively as a, content creator is put my name in the game somewhere. So my initial idea today was, why can't I create my own bundle maybe? And this is Wozza's best bots, his favourite bots. And Dale sort of said, well, I'm not too sure about putting out the best 5 bots in the game in one bundle. Maybe it's not the best idea. And I said, well, I could pick some undervalued bots base, but maybe or something like that. I don't mind, but it's just something in the game where I can say, listen, this is one of our content creators. This is what the bots he thinks are whatever. The best bots, most underrated bots, whatever. Freezers can do the same, Soldier, we can all do the same. And just puts our name out there, just in game. I also asked Dale for some sort of advert in the game as well, somewhere just advertising us. I said, I'm not too sure we can do that. I was like, okay. And this was about 2 years ago where I sort of started talking to Dale about this. And I've sort of stopped asking him, honestly, because I thought it's never going to happen. And Dale hit me up a few months ago and said, hey, I've got an idea. So why don't we do a challenge battle in-game where you create a base design? I was like, yeah, sounds good. Maybe we can give some prize away for completing it. He's like, yeah, that's the idea. And then he sort of hit me up again. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, something like that, and said, right, can you create me a base design? I was like, yeah, of course. He's like, create me a base design. Let me know what you want in there, things like that. And we'll go from there. And then he hit me up again. And I said, I'm going to create a base design this coming week. That's all right. Went, yeah, cool. And the idea is that we're going to have like a normal mode and then like a super hard mode where we can add in whatever you want. I think he said something like, we can add extra combiner beacons if you want, extra outposts and everything. And I thought, I don't want to go stupid, but I would make it super hard by maybe making the build bots immune or something like that. And then Dale said, like, do we actually let them use their own bots? Do we give them some bots? So we've actually sorted something out that should be coming to the game over the next few weeks, where it'll be a challenge battle, where it'll be a base that I've designed, which is the actual base that you see on screen now. And you will attack this base, basically. And I think the first iteration, you'll be given some bots, so I will decide with Dale what bots. I think there'll be some new bots in there, out of the batches, just to sort of try and promote the new batches and the new endurance bots, and say to people like, you want this bot. And the idea is just to try and give something away. I think there was talk of maybe a Sunstreaker avatar or something. Something like that. Maybe some other prize, but we're not 100% on that yet, the details of that. But yeah, like a challenge battle in game, and then Freezers will do one as well, Soldier hopefully. And I thought it'd be a really good idea. And I thought, it was a big credit to Dale, because we've been fighting for this for years and never seen anything materialise. So it's really good to sort of get my name in the game in some way, and it's the first, pretty much, other than just a little newsfeed saying go and check out my channel. So I think it'd be really, really cool, and hopefully, a super hard mode, then we should give some shards away or something for doing it, But I think for the super hard mode, we'll probably give you certain bots to do it, I think, or maybe take your own bots, because I get that the normal battle, you want everyone to be able to battle, so we'll have to give them the bots and go, listen, have a go with these bots, try them out. I think the super hard mode, you'll have to try your own bots. I think that's what we're talking about right now, me and Dale, and trying to get something in the works. But yeah, super cool to do that. But I thought that when I thought I'd talk about base design for this reason. I hit upon that, and I've created my own base design, and I like to create my own. And I know a lot of people have come to me in the past and said, like, we have a look at my base design, and I say to people, just go and copy one of the top players. But again, that's not easy sometimes. You don't have the same resources, and people try and copy it and can't because they don't have the same cores. But the problem is that base design is so difficult to actually get right. And I'm not saying by any means I'm a master at it, but there's certain fundamentals that I try and go by to try and make it more difficult. And I just thought I'd sort of try and hit some players up and just go, listen, these are some things to think about when you're creating your own base. There's some do's, some don'ts, some options where you can go this way or you can go that way. And I thought I'd talk about the pros and the cons. Because I said to Dale, I said, like, if we're doing this, let's try and make our own bases. There's no point in copying someone else's. We can all do that. We can all go and, copy Josh Lang's base. Josh Lang creates some great base designs. We can all just go and copy his base and just go, yeah, I'm going to use this because I know it's good because one of the top players uses it. But what's the fun in that? I mean, yeah, it's easy for some people, but I like to just go and create my own. So I thought I'd run through this base and I'd talk about why I've put the things in the places that I have. Sort of the problems with it, maybe the pitfalls of doing it this way, how I could change it, and where that would lead anyway. So when you are attacking these sort of bases, and I presume that most people here are attacking in Cybertron and Prime League. Now if you're attacking below that, to be perfectly honest, attacks are a lot easier. It's bases having enough DPS and enough health to get through the base and having enough ability damage to take certain defenses out. But once you start getting towards having prime cores in your base, it gets a lot more difficult because the prime cores make a massive impact on your base. So the big things that people will try and take out first is your Liege core, your Megatronus core, and your MDS or shield generator depending. So those are the main things to look out for that people are going to make a beeline for. And I think when you're attacking a base, that's what you need to sort of consider a bot that can do that. But on base design, you've got two options basically. You can either create a design like this with all the defenses at the front and you've got all the resource buildings at the back. Now the simple reason for that is nothing to do with resources. It's simply down to limiting the amount of points that people get. If you move all the resource building to the back, then you're sort of saying to people, if you attack from this place from the front, then you're going to have limited points. Now, yes, you can probably backdoor this base quite easy, but you are hoping that people don't have the skill or knowledge to do that. Most players don't. Most players will try and walk the base. We talk about top players wanting to beat bases. They'll try and beat it by walking it, and that sort of shows you an accomplishment because you can beat any base just by going through it. Now, in terms of your shield gen, you could use that in two ways, basically. You could use it to protect some defenses, or you could stick it right at the back, out of the way, to protect your HQ. But it's kind of a bit of a waste just sticking it out of the way. You're better using it to protect some defenses and give it a bit more shielding. And the main defenses that people will try and shield is your Liege core, your Megatronus core, and your MDS, whatever core you have on that. But they're the kind of defenses that people will mainly aim to protect with the shield gen. Now you have to remember that the more things you put around the shield gen, if they use an AoE bot to take that out, it leaves it more vulnerable. So just be cautious that if you put everything around the shield gen and they take that area out, then most of your defenses are gone. So sometimes you're better putting all of them there, sometimes you're better just putting a couple there. There's no right and wrong answer again. Again, down to personal choice. But what a lot of people do around base design is putting the Micronus core close by. Now, some, again, put it under the shield gen. And if you try and attack that area while it's hitting Micronus, that can really cause a problem to people where they're using a lot of points unnecessarily. Personally, I like to leave Micronus out to the side, which will still heal that area, but it's not in this cluster, so if people try and kill it, they're not going to take Micronus out at the same time. So I like to leave Micronus separate. Same with Alchemist. Now, the way I've done it here is I put Micronus with Liege, I put Alchemist with Megatronus. With Alchemist, I've also put the laser gun, and with Micronus, I've also put the glass cast turret. Now, the reason for that is that because the laser turret and Megatronus does damage, I've decided to put Alchemist with it, because that will mean that as they're doing damage, they will heal a lot faster. But with the glass gas turret and Liege, they don't really do damage per se. they just put an effect on your bots. So they actually need healing more. So I've put the healing core more on the side of those instead. If that kind of makes sense. So Alchemist around things that do damage. Micronus around things that put an effect on your bots. Then you've got to think about your Quintus core. I generally like to put that towards the back of the base, which is up here. You want sharks constantly coming from that. So I've put it up here basically, rather than right at the back, but at the front it gets taken out and then doesn't do much. I like to put it a bit out of the way as well. And then we've got the Nexus core. Now the Nexus core, you need to put on something that does quite a decent amount of damage, because it makes this building do additional damage. But you want to keep it on the battlefield. That is a definite. You want to keep it on there as long as possible, because your Outpost Combiner will do 30% extra damage for as long as that lives. So the reason I put it there is for two reasons. One, I'm making people try and take that out in some way, which means they're using points or they're using the Combiner in a place where it doesn't really matter really. So I'm trying to force them sort of wide. So it's a good option to put your Nexus core wide or really high up. Just keep it well out the way. Yeah, it's not going to do much damage really, but the Outpost Combiner doing more damage is really beneficial. And now, in terms of the sort of rough base design, do you want to keep it very compact and make it susceptible to AoE? Or do you want to space it out and make it a bit harder for AoE? But the downside of that is that if people are using two healers, they can get through the base easier, because they're not taking a lot of damage all at once. And again, there's no right and wrong answer for this. If you cluster your base, the Combiner is going to melt a lot quicker, but you can take half the base out very easily with some really good AoE bots. If you space it out, then yeah, it's going to be harder to take these out, because AoE bots can't really do much damage, and single use bots or single hit bots are going to struggle to really kill too many defenses for how expensive they are to use. But your bots are not going to take as much damage because defenses aren't as clustered. So again, no right or wrong answer for this. It's just a personal choice. In terms of outpost placement, it depends what bots you've got. I like to place Hot Rod close by some defenses that I think I want to protect, because once he protects that, they've kind of got to pop their Combiner really, or really struggle. And I think that if he pops and he protects the shield gen, or he protects Megatronus, or the Age, then they're going to have a bit of a problem. The shield gen maybe not as much, but definitely Megatronus or the Age. You definitely want to take that out soon. So I put Hot Rod right in the middle of them, and I've sort of put him right in the middle of 3. And you can see there that everything else is sort of spaced a bit further apart. And I've sort of said, listen, if you don't take out the Age, and you don't take Megatronus, and don't take out the shield gen, Hot Rod's going to pop and protect one of those 3. I could maybe bring these a bit closer, but I don't want to cluster them too much. But I've sort of given him a bit of something to protect. We've got Red Alert in there. Once he pops, he protects half your base from damage pretty much. Really good bot to put at the front of your base. Again, sort of stops them from taking too many defenses out. And so maybe forces them to pop a Combiner. They got Optimus on this side. He does really, really good damage. But also his freeze that he does as part of his I forgot the name of it now. I was gonna say no, don't even call that. No. What's it called? Oh my god, I forgot now. But yeah. But the freeze that it does can trap bots, stops them from doing DPS, so it's really, really good. Then we've actually got Drift up here. I'm actually just trying Drift out for the simple reason that I know there's a lot of damage all at once. And so I think this problem is that he needs the Age, because he got hacked in our last war and started attacking my own base and took a good chunk out. So I think putting Drift for the amount of damage that he does is a decent option. And then obviously a Twin Twist on the other side as well, a really good bot. You need this on defense. I think the only bot that I'm missing here really is Beachcomber. That's a must-have for most bases, and now he's in a 5-star batch. We'll see him a lot more. Really difficult to take out, and I imagine I'll put Beachcomber at the front here. I imagine. In terms of Buildbot cores, so there's no right or wrong answer. Again, depends what you want to protect against. and what you feel like people are going to use. You'll find that people at the Cybertron level will use tracks and pipes a lot. So FFD you'll find is really, really important. But then as you go up to later levels, you'll find that a lot of people are getting really good at using Ruination to take out a big chunk and a lot of the base. So maybe using the new anti-water cores are, more preferred. And then you've also got the fact that everyone uses Nightstick, and so the anti-acid cores are more preferred. So you can't cover everything. You can't use anti-heals, you can't use FFDs, and you can't use also the anti-water and anti-acid cores all at the sort of same time and use them effectively. Some people use one of each, pretty much. Some people use 2 or 3. I actually at one point had 4 FFDs, even 5 FFDs I think on my base. And people even said that it caused a lot of problems because they didn't know what to choose. But since the release of Ruination, how easy it can take out build bots, I kind of think that it doesn't matter what build bot you put up really. Ruination's going to take them out. It kind of ruins it a bit, really. But just think to yourself what you want to protect against. That's what I advise you. Also, as well, when you're putting your build bot placement, don't put them too close to melee defense. I mean, here, Air Raid might be able to take them 3 out. I did make a mistake in my last war, and I put them too close to 3 defenses. I think I put it here and took out a massive chunk of defenses, so I've changed that round. And listen, you will always find problems with your own base where someone will attack it and they'll find a good way to destroy a big chunk of it. No base is ever perfect. I'm sure you can look at this base now and go, oh well, that's a bit of a problem there, and that's a bit of a problem with this bot, and you're never going to defend against every single bot. But I think it's important that you just pick maybe a few bots that are in the meta and sort of single them out and think, yes, they're important bots in the meta, I need to protect against them. And at the minute, you're talking Roadbuster, you're talking Pipes, you're talking Optimus, Optimal Optimus. So even the anti-fire cores, they would help, protect against Optimal Optimus. But the anti-acid, anything like that, it's not going to help much against Pipes, FFD. That's the only thing you can use. And against Roadbuster, nothing much really. There's nothing much can really kill Roadbuster, so to speak. He can pretty much shoot through anything still. So, still, there's still a lot to learn around base design, even for myself, even at this point, because effects change, preference of bots change, which changes base design. And there's no right and wrong answer when it comes to base design. But I think it's important that you choose something to defend against and stick to that. And I think it's important that you understand how people are going to attack it and how you can prevent them from doing that. And the last thing that I just sort of touch upon is walls. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but walls, don't use them to protect defenses. Especially at higher level, it's not going to work. With the amount of bots that do damage against walls right now, and the amount of bots that can rush through walls, walls are pretty much like butter. They're not going to protect anything. So using walls to enclose things is not going to make any difference. Back a few years ago, yes, not anymore. What you can use walls for now is to path bots in a certain way to try and force the tanks to go one way and the gunners to go another. And that is the idea, that you're trying to force them to go a particular way. That can be really difficult because you need to understand pathing. And I still don't even think this base is actually 100% right. But I tried something, then I tried something, didn't work. And so I've kind of settled on this now, and kind of a choke point. And you can see there, what I've tried to do is trying to force people inwards into a kind of a choke point at the top. And the idea behind this is to try and make people use all their ability points on the front and leave it at the back a bit more open, a bit more difficult. So watch out for this coming in the game. Should be coming soon. Good luck, and I actually do hope you do beat it. And by then I'll probably change my base design already. I do change that every week or two and change the way I do things. But yeah, I'd like to, I'd like to see people sort of be challenged. And I even hope people do lose on my base, if I'm honest with you, because it says I've sort of done a decent job, if that happens. but yeah, go and give it a try when it comes in the game, and give me some feedback. Let me know. Did you find it easy? Did you find it hard? What were the trouble points? What do you think was a bit foolish maybe, and made it a bit easy by doing that? And yeah, maybe we can perfect the design. But go and give it a go yourself, guys. Don't be scared of trying to do your own base design. And trying to work things out for yourself. You never know. These are how these metas are developed, and these new bases are by someone trying something and it working. So go and give it a try, guys. Stephen Gomez, thanks for being a member. And he's put Negatronus better on 5-star slug or 5-star elita. I've got mine on slug, I think, just to prove a point. To prove I'm not lying. So I've actually got mine on slug because it does because upon reaching the final target, fire splashes to other close buildings, enemies ablaze, deal thinger. So very much fire orientated. And this sort of just adds to that. I'm not a big fan of Elita. I find her really expensive. I know people do use it for sack, things like that, but I'm more of a fan of slug, if I'm honest. So yeah. What have we got? Grind time always kicks me for not charging my my stuff to the last minute. He's Wozza. Whatever you do, do not recharge your timers that are running out. Traxxas put Shiny's base gives people fits. Shiny did he just say Josh Poo has a great base. He hasn't seen how easy it is to destroy his with 2 or 3 bots. Yeah, I'm not saying Josh's base right now is amazing, but I don't think any top player will deny that over the years, Josh Lang has probably made more hard top base designs that people have copied than anyone else in the game. I would go as far as saying that. I'm trying to think of someone else. There's a couple of people that I can't remember now used to make some really good base designs. One particular is really do my head in now what his name was. I can't remember. But, there's some people out there that have done some really good base designs over the years. I'm talking literally over the years. Blame what timers? Yeah, he means these timers, yeah, because he always kills me for not doing it. So yeah, I'll do it now before I forget. I know. Grand time's like, I don't get how you just don't keep it charged all the time, and I'm like, yeah, because I just wait until a few hours to go and then do it then. But I have a few times forgot to and just killed me through it. Yeah, Killsuckers put I would do a slow walk on Wozza's base with 2 glitch gunners and 2 healers. I would use Blue Streak for other prime core defenses. Problem is though, the one that I give you the bots for, you would not have Blue Streak and you wouldn't have 2 healers. That's not me just saying that now because you said that. But you would probably use my war team, which would not include 2 healers, but include Minerva. It would include 1. But you are right though, 2 healers and a slow walk would be really beneficial about this. But my war team is, I think, Rook Pipes, Optimal Optimus, Roadbuster, Sea Spray, 6 gun, Minerva, and everyone's normally interchangeable. It's either Blaster or it's a Smoke Screen, or Warpath, depending on the base. But yeah, another DPS bot usually, I think. But yeah, that's probably the ones I would choose. That would be it. But then I did say today that I wanted to add some bots in that are quite new and relevant. I think Leo Prime is massively OP. I think Blue Streak's massively OP. I think I probably add Nose Cone in instead of Pipes. I think I'd probably add in, who else? Lightspeed maybe, instead of Rook. And then go from there, I think, maybe. Yeah. Killsucker would replace Red Alert in the middle outpost. Definitely not. Definitely hot. Like that is the one outpost where I'm like, he is going there, without a doubt. You got to think even from there, we're still going to protect all these defenses. Even from there. Drift in an outpost. Yeah. Cody Fox. I use Slash because of a new core. Yeah, Slash is decent. Yeah. Tracks. Megatronus works well on pipes with its acid and tri-plating makes like a tank. Cool. Killsuckers put drift is cool in the outpost, especially because he's invisible at the start. Yeah, you just make sure they have liege on him. Honestly, because I had him get hacked and start destroying my own base, and that's why I was like, yeah, I definitely need liege on him. What else? What else? Have a look. Just looking for anything around base design. Any questions like that? Killsucker without anti-acid. The SG is vulnerable against the arc and white creme Zeke combo. Yeah. Yeah, I use that. Hence why I've put that there. And look, it does cover the SG. So yeah. Big Blade. If there is one thing my base is extremely good at, it is misleading the enemy into the worst places with wall pathing. Yeah, wall pathing is really, really vital. That's one of the most important things. Volcanicus HQ18 takes a really long time to upgrade. Yeah, I kind of get it though. It needs to be, but then they left it too long now without another upgrade though. Traxpen Lancaster, you should critique members or players based on request, but limit the number of stream. Obviously, some you should be able to find easily depending on what alliance they are in. I actually used to do base rinsing, and I know some people really liked it, but I just find that it's base design has got a bit samey and a bit monotonous now, and so you know, I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you'd like me to do base rinsing again with grind time. Let me know. I thought it was quite funny. I thought it was alright. It's a bit of a laugh. I thought we'd sort of give out some good pointers maybe to people. And yeah, I gave some some goodies out just for sort of critiquing people's bases. I think most people took it the way it was, just a bit of a joke and a bit of ribbing with a sort of message behind it. You know, I remember people sending pictures in of low-level walls and would criticise them for the walls and stuff. But I get not everyone wants sort of grade walls, but obviously they are really important as well. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you think we should do some base rinsing again, where we sort of I would never do it where I just pick people's bases out, because it's not fair. Because you can look at my base right now and go, oh, I wouldn't do that, and I think that's bad. And I'm quite decent at base design. I've always done my own base designs. And I don't think you can find many people that will say that in the game where they create their own design. And there is a kind of art to it. And again, I'm not saying the best ever, but I always do my own designs with an idea behind it. And you know, I don't think it's fair to start critiquing players without them sort of saying, I don't mind you doing that. You know. Dr. Claw, Deadshot made some good designs. Yes, Deadshot did. Yeah. Spazial, yes, my burger Spazial. Yeah, that is the person I was thinking of. Yeah, Spazial was doing some amazing designs back in the day. Yeah, one of the really good guy as well. I remember hitting him up about it. Really good guy. Traxpen Lancaster support. We will give you nothing but all healers. Oh, it means my challenge battle. All healers. Optimus, Sea Spray, and Power Glide. I did think about saying today, listen, no effects, nothing, but let's give people some of the worst bots in the game and see who can beat it, and that's the challenge. Not like adding like loads of HP and DPS and a 6th outpost bot or something silly like that. But literally just going, listen, try and beat this base. And I'm good. But Dale said that I've got to beat it. At the hardest level, I've got to beat it with the bots that I choose. So it's not like it's unachievable. That'd be silly. But I would love to get this base design, pick 8 rubbish bots, and work out a way to beat it, and then go, right, guys, go at it with these bots and see what you can do. And because that's a pure test of skill. Because that's not just you using brute strength and that. That's you using skill, thinking, oh, I can combo that with that to take out that. I can use this bot in that way. And knowing when to use it and when not to and things like that. So, yeah. Hamburgers put Trigger Happy and T2 in the same team. A bit overkill. No, I think they both have a good job to do, honestly. Talk about the 5-star batch. Jack's Penny Lancaster thought Blue Shrink is an OP. Take it back. He is. Listen, I said Pipes was OP. Nothing's happened to Pipes. I said Optimus Prime, Optimus is OP. Nothing's happened to him. I said Roadbuster was OP. Now, nothing has really been done to Roadbuster, really, from what I tested. Yeah, let's just get that straight. I said Beachcomber was OP in an outpost, and he is, and nothing's happened. So yeah. If LM is on Drift, what is on Pipes? What have we got on Pipes? Oh, Quintus, but not on attack. Yeah, Quintus on Pipes. I don't like the age on attack. I don't, but I have considered putting on Blaster when I put him in. Cuddy Fox has put Slugs on my second team. He's very underrated. Yeah, he's a good bot. It's good. It's similar to Pipes. Are Titans affected by the anti-acid build bot? No, they shouldn't. I'm not saying they don't, because who knows? There's so many bugs. But they shouldn't. That's all I'll say. Is Mr. Boards put his Warpath Skull Smusher still good for bases? Yeah, some. Especially backloaded bases. So some bases put all their resource buildings at the front and all defenses at the back and encourage you to try and take them out from range. And then when you get in range, you've not got many points left. Or you're trying to take the whole base out with 40 points. But yeah. Blade 19 would like to see base runs again. Volcanicus would. Okay, good to know. Cuddy Fox has Super in Outpost. S11 with a stun. Yeah, it's really, really good. Hamburger, is there a point where a bot is so bad that it's still not to be used? No, but there are some bots that are really good at lower levels that get less better at higher levels. I think a prime example of that is Elite 1. So in lower leagues, Elite 1 is absolutely immense because I said this a few weeks ago. The problem with Elite 1 is if you're going to use her ability, you need to get some points back. Now at HQ 18 level, she doesn't do enough damage to even take away half the health of most defenses. And so she doesn't get enough points back. You can use her 3 times and get 0 points in return. Whereas in lower leagues, she can pretty much one-shot big areas in like Zone 14, what zone that would be. But, you know, when the debuffs kick in, she can take out defenses and get points back. And then she's a little more effective. Then she can literally take out like, 10, 12 defenses. They're clustered quite easily for maybe 20 ability points something, but you're getting like you're getting 10 back. It's only costing you 10, but higher levels no. Beast Wars Silverbolt can one shot at lower leagues. Absolutely, I would say the best jet in the game in lower leagues. I would go that far. In Prime League, you will never see him used because he can't one-shot anything. So there are some bots that are very good at lower levels, but once you get to higher levels, not so much good. Scattershot, another good example. Really good at lower leagues, not too good at Prime League. Some people will tell you different. I will say no, he's rubbish. Josie Prime, thanks for joining the stream. Good to see. And Jack's Pen Lancaster's bot. I want to see another combat similar to Buzzstrike. Yeah, no doubt they will at some point. It's similar, but doesn't mean they're going to be the same. Not anti-hack. We've got anti-hack now. We don't need it, so I'll come up with something else instead. Cool. Okay, so let's talk a bit about legacy bots coming this year. So I have had obviously conversations with Dale about bots that I think need a buff, and there's no coincidence that Nose Cone came up on that list. It was kind of a running joke. It was no coincidence that Hopper was on that list. And we said that, he's just not very good at anything, really. And, no doubt that Lightspeed was on that list as well. So there's certain bots that were discussed as being really, really poor that were on that list. And now, I know for a fact there's some other bots on that list. What order this is going to come in, I'm just guessing now. But I am guessing that these will come out as legacy bots. And I'm sure you can probably think of a few of them now. So I think one of the bots that is definitely due a rework, and you can see that I'm scrolling quite low here because most of the rubbish bots I've left at a really low level. I think one that's going to come up quite soon is Ultra Magnus. I think the big problem with Ultra Magnus is the disparity between him and Galvatronus. I'm sure there's many cons in the chat thinking, what you want about Wozza? Galvatron is not that bad, but Ultra Magnus is. So it's finding a way to make them both the same, because Galvatron is decent. The difference being that Ultra Magnus's ability is too random. It doesn't do enough damage in a single area or guaranteed damage. A bit like Sunstreaker in a way. And so they need to find a way to make that a bit more accurate or give him more damage even. I think that Ultra Magnus is a massive bot in the lore. He's kind of a forgotten bot. And I think he needs a lot of work. And that's why I think he'll be put into a legacy rather than into a batch. Because we're going to talk about some other bots that I think will go into batches over the next year or so. So I think we'll find Ultra Magnus. But I think before we have Ultra Magnus, I think the next bot in line for a legacy rework will be Powerglide. I've heard a lot of talk about Powerglide and how poor he is. And obviously he's a Superion bot. He's a Combiner bot. And since they're doing a lot with Combiner bots around now, I can see Powerglide probably being the next legacy bot. Which means that's also Cyclonus as well. And I think that it's quite an easy fix. It's just giving him more damage, I think. He's got amazing range. And I think having a bot like this, that's 4+1, that's got incredible range, well, that's a bit of a decent bot. But it just needs more damage. Dead simple, really. But I can see him coming quite soon. And I think the other one, because it fixes a couple of problems in terms of Combiners, again, because it's a massive focus right now. I think the next up is going to be Dust Up and Vortex. I think these are considered some of the worst bots in the game. You know, someone asked me earlier, what's the worst bot in the game, and I think this is definitely one of them. And I just feel, again, they just need a lot more damage. I mean, when you read, like, at level 50, 2,700 damage for 3+1, you think, wow, that's amazing. But when you actually use that ability, it's not 2,700 in an area. It's 2,700 split in an area between 16 grenades. And so between 16 grenades, it does like 150 damage each or something. It literally, I called this Tickle Bot for a while as a joke. Because it literally just tickles defenses, don't even hurt them. I can see Dust Up and Vortex having a rework as part of the legacy bots. After that, I think we're looking at some bots that will be in batches over the next year. And the reason I picked these in batches is because I don't think these bots need much of a rework, but I do think they need to be put in batches to sort of complete the 5-star combiners. And I think the first one, I think we'll see, and I think this people will actually enjoy this, I think, is Chromia and Felbat. So obviously Felbat is part of a combiner, but Chromia isn't. But we're finding that a lot of Autobots are required for combiners, and the Decepticon counterparts aren't. So I think for this time round, I think we need a bot in the batches that's more geared towards Decepticons rather than just the Autobots. And I think we'll actually see a 5-star Chromia and Felbat. I wouldn't mind that. I think that's going to be a decent addition. And I think that putting that in an outpost will actually be decent. For a while, she was like a big worry. You know, like, oh my god, like Chromia. It was only when the sort of anti-stun for the Warriors came in that people stopped using her. But I think that with the meta swapping now to being more special bots, I think that Chromia can actually have a comeback and do actually pretty good. So I think having Chromia and Felbat in the next 5-star batch would be a good move by Space Ape. After that, I think then we'll see Streetwise and Cinetwin. I think these have been a long time coming. I think they're half decent but no one really uses them simply because they're a 4-star. But I think they'd be actually pretty decent as a 5-star. Again, I think it obviously helps fix Defensor, and I think it helps fix Abominus. I think that the only reason they won't is because they know then that they just need Cutthroat, and which means there should be Trax and Cutthroat in a batch. But I still don't think there's a reason not to. I still think Trax and Cutthroat can be in a team. I think that's still a decent, a decent addition without being massively OP. I think that Trax and Cutthroat aren't as OP as they used to be with the amount of FFDs in the game. So I can really see Streetwise and Sinatwin be coming into a batch as well. And I think next, although there's no community vote this time round, I think that eventually when they do have a community vote, I think that dead simply there'll be Trailbreaker and Exhaust. And I think that that's simply because the bots will be voting for the next combiner. I think because Skyrim, one of the best combiners around. The 3 main used combiners, or 4 I should say, is Magnaboss, but we're 3 bots away. Ruination, already a 5-star version. Computron, I've already got the bots for the 5-star version, but not yet. And Skyrain, and the only bot missing for Skyrain is Trailbreaker. So I can imagine that as soon as we get a 5-star vote, Trailbreaker will probably win that vote. And so Trailbreaker and Exhaust will no doubt then go into that batch. Probably in the next batch. I think after that, a bot that probably needs a slight rework that we will see will be Mirage and Breakdown. And obviously that fills Optimus. And it also is another bot towards Menasor as well. I think they'll start working on Victorion soon. I did say that earlier. About bots coming soon. So I can imagine them starting to work on that, and they need bots that are going to sort of fill these quotas. And I think with obviously Vortex hopefully coming, and I think with Breakdown obviously coming, they'll start to fill more combiner bots as 5-star versions ready for the 5-star releases, which I imagine will probably come next year. So I imagine Mirage and Breakdown will probably come early into next year, I would imagine. Whether it's a legacy or not, I don't know. Do they need enough rework as a legacy bot, or do they need a slight tweak to go into the batches? That's what we're seeing now. We're seeing that the bots into batches don't need much work. The legacy bots need quite a bit. So I'm not too sure where I sort of stand with this bot. Personally, I just think that an extension of the stun would suffice, and increasing the electrical damage. And I think we'll be there or thereabouts. I don't think we're a million miles away with it. I think still I think the G1 is good. I think the ability is good. It just needs an increase. And then lastly, we talked about obviously Trax and Cutthroat. And Cutthroat obviously helping out with Abominus. And I think the last one left to talk about is just Cup and Dead End. And I think that because we've talked about Victorian bots coming maybe over the next year, because we talked about that meaning Menasor in some way, we'll obviously have to find 5-star Cup and 5-star Dead End at one point. And I think that the only worry about that is not the combiner itself, but backdoors. And I think that the Space Ape just need a way to sort of defend more against backdoors. We saw this a while back with the shield generator, and with the HQ shield, things like that. Is it enough? I don't know. I'm not too sure. But I do think we'll see a Cup and Dead End next year. And I think it'd be a big celebration to do that along with Trax and Cutthroat. And maybe even put them both in the same batch even maybe. As a celebration that, these amazing 4-star bots are finally getting 5-star versions after years of people asking. And I think that when we asked for these years ago, yeah, they were OP. Yeah, it was dangerous. No, not so much anymore. And especially with some of the newer cores that come out to help defend against backdoors. So I do think it's time. I do think for a 5-star Trax and Cutthroat and a 5-star Cup and Dead End. But that's my opinion on what I think bots will come out over the next year or so, as legacy bots, as batches. Let me know what you think. Is there some bots that I've missed out on that you think would be good legacy bots that need that rework, that are really poor and need an improvement? Is there some bots you think don't need much of a tweak, But probably combine a bot that needs to go in a batch, really, to sort of help complete the combiners. Let me know in the chat, guys, what you guys think, and we'll look out over in a year's time, look back at this, and see how accurate we were. Oh, Stephen Gomez, thanks for the donation. He's put, my teams are a mess. How do you recommend I organise? So I literally did a stream last week where I talked about building teams. I'm sure, if you remember, I'm sure it's available to members right now. I'm sure it is. I'm sure I posted it the other day. Let me have a quick look, actually. Let me have a look. Yeah, so I talked about leveling bots. The leveling bots videos that I've done, they're available to members right now. Part 1 will probably come out in the next week or so to everyone else, and part 2 later on. I always sort of do this for my members. My videos that I sort of create go to members first. Go and check that out. It's got some important information in there about how I set up my teams for events and raids and things like that. That should give you some good advice. Go and check that out, and because you remember, you can go and check them out right now. So yeah, go and have a look. Hope it helps. But if you're not too sure, hit me up on Discord. So if you remember, then I always try and answer my members' messages, as soon as possible. If you're not too sure, got any questions, then hit me up in Discord. I don't mind, especially remember. Yeah, grind time. Ultra Magnus is one of my favourites in lore. Sucks in game. Yeah, same. I actually thought about getting an Ultra Magnus model because I really enjoy him as a bot. Tracks Penny Lancaster's poor. I want a 5-star power glide. He's about to be a captain, even though I don't use his 4-star. If they would increase Dust Up, is a good trigger bot like Brainstorm. A good trigger bot? No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not good for anything. Literally good for nothing. I'm not having that. Dust Up is good for nothing. Convince me otherwise. Geosport, what did we think of the Magnavox update power up during last weekend's event? I didn't really use him that much, but let me know if you used him. Let me know in the chat, guys. Big Blades put, yes, Fellback needs more love. He's out of the meta, but he needs to return. Yeah, I'm debating putting him in an outpost. I think he'd be pretty decent. Handburgers put, I think it'd be cool to be able to swap between Hack, Blind, and EMP at SA11. Yeah, I think it'd be a bit complicated to program, but yeah. Killsucker put, it'd be cool if a 5-star power glide got a minigun cannon besides his missiles like a real A10. Oh, I mean like on the way. Oh yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Big Blaze put speed up and slow down would go crazy on defense. Yeah, probably. Trax Lancaster put, well, Chromia should be next. Velbot is part of Lyle Kaiser. And we'll complete the 5-star combiner for the console Computron, and him can come out. Yeah. Killsucker, increase the jump range of Magnabus. I don't think he needs it. I really don't. I think he's alright. I think the Ruinations is all too far. Crazy too far. I said that in testing, said it was too much. He's reducing a bit, but I got criticised for that even. I think it's alright. I think Magnabus needs a 5-star ability and done. Bit of talk about Trailbreaker, obviously. Trex by Lancaster's but Skywalk, Skydive was promised and would be great, but in reality still in outdates, and Slingshot does more, does acid as well. I'll tell you the story for this. I am the reason that there is no 5-star Skywarp and Skydive. Because Dale was doing an update to a few bots, I think around the nose cone time, and he announced a few bots, and he said, these are the bots I think I need to rework. And I said to him, what? Skydive? I was like, Skydive does not need a rework. He doesn't. Skydive is great. What Skydive needs is a 5-star version. Done. Finished. He honestly doesn't. Skydive is brilliant. It's acid, so it stops healing. Does a crazy amount of damage. Alright, it is over time, but because the acid makes it amazing. I just need a 5-star version for more damage. I think it'd be great. I really do. That's all it needs. It doesn't need a rework. Yeah, so sorry, Action Well. He's just put, I just want Skywarp, one of my favourite cons. Sorry. Traxpen Lancaster's put, there's nothing that apes can do to protect against the back door. Always a virgin hole somewhere. Wow. Wow, okay. Yeah, but could you not protect the shield gen with anti-acid cores? How would you take it out then? How would you take out the shield gen without an anti-acid core? I presume, yeah, with Blue Streak, I presume, yes, because Blue Streak OP, so yeah. Oh yeah, well Trax has put, yeah, it means Duster would be good with a buff to trigger. Yeah, no doubt. Cream Tea, what do you think about Trailbreaker after his fixes? I don't really use him, because I don't really use, I'm sorry when I say that, I'm not being arrogant, I don't really use 4-star bots, and so if it's not a 5-star, then it's very rare that I'll even test it, personally. Just because I never will use it, because I need that extra HP and extra damage, really. Not to say there's not some good 4-star bots that are valuable, like Trax, for example, but I don't use Trax in my war team for that example. I like to use 5-star bots. Nothing to do with, you know, arrogance, just because I just prefer to do that. I just prefer to use the best bots in the game at the highest level, so. See, RG's put Magnaboss or Smash in Zone 15, normally struggle with Zone 14. No, Magnaboss can do Zone 15 anyway, really, pretty much. Within reason. I presume he's just doing it easier, but he could always do Zone 15. I used to do Zen Farm in Zone 15 with Magnaboss before Ruination. He was my go-to bot, so yeah, he can do. Big Blades put, bro, Skydive is criminally underrated. I agree. People who say he's bad clear don't know what they're talking about. Think about it. Massive SA damage and acid even without an EO core. Yeah, really, really good. Trax has put, I should take out my Cronus and SG with Silver with the Arc Acid throw. I'll send you a video. Yeah, send it me. Yeah. Berserk's put Skywarp is good. Cost ability maybe. Yeah, I think it's hard because the problem you've got is with Skywarp is that when you've got 5-star Jetfire doing 9,900 damage with 5,000 area damage with the maxed EO core at like 67-ish. When you compare that, and I don't even use Skydive now. This is just from like past usage. You know, when you compare that to 7k at 59.8 with a gold EO core, you know, it's going to do some crazy damage. I mean, like, so I've got a test server. I'm sure I've got a higher level Skydive. I'm sure I have, because I tested it, I think. No. Tell you what, let's have a look at what a max Skydive will do. Out of interest. Give me 2 minutes to level him up. What do you reckon? I doubt anyone in the chat has got a maxed out Skydive, so what do you reckon, guys? What do you reckon this guy's going to do at max? Put it in the chat now. Before I start leveling him. I'm betting 14k. I'm betting 14k as a 4-star. What do you guys think? Stick it in the chat now before I start really leveling him. Let's see if you can get close. Where is he? Need some set energy on. Give me a sec. Traspen Lancaster's put 12k, Big Blade 11 to 13k. I think you'd be surprised, you know. I think. Cream Tea 13k. Yeah, I think you want 13, 14k, I think. I really do. Let's see. Let's see. Go to jets again, easier. Action work 11k. So let's do his ability first, eh? So we're at 9k already. At 61. So we're gander. Yeah, Berserk's put Skywarp or Skydive G1 needs change, though it sucks. Yeah, definitely agree with that. It is one of the worst in the game. I just said that at the time as well. Surprise. But yeah, definitely. Definitely. And Vic Jing's put about the Elite 1 core. Yeah, I think he knows. I think he's seen a lot of feedback on that, actually. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Where's he gone? First gun, that's why. And here we go. Let's have a go. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what a max skydive will do. 12k. Yeah. I thought a bit more than that. 12k is alright though, isn't it? 12k is alright. So yeah, a 5-star version will probably do 13k. I imagine. Yeah, about just over 13k a 5-star version would do. It's about 10% into it. So 12k, 10% is 1,200. So yeah, the 5-star version will do about 13k as a 5-star version. So I think that's all it needs. And a G1 rework. Yeah. Then if you try to target, it's 4,000, 4,500 damage in an area with acid as well. So yeah. Tracks, bam, told you. Someone's gone looking in the server at maxed out bots, obviously. Wonder if let's have a look. Actually, I reported last week about ranks increasing it, but let's have a look. Doesn't do it there, but I think it does in the game. Green team, will there be a new war team if 5-star was released? I don't use any jets. I don't use any damage over time, really. Not that much time, anyway. I don't know. Yeah, well, as I was saying though, the problem is if you make it cheaper, so you've got 5-star Jetfire, and it is cost at 4+2. He does 9k damage, so he can't be 4+2. Skydive can't be plus 4+2 if he's doing more than 10k damage. So you got him more than 4+2. So he's got 4+3. And I think that's fair. I really do. I think he used to be more than that. I think he used to be 5. I think he used to be 5+2, I think, and then reduced to 4+3. I think that's fine. I really do think it doesn't need a cost reduction. I really don't. Because if he does that, then you'd have to reduce Firefly. You'd have to reduce Jetfire. It gets a bit silly. So, Trash Pen Lancaster, what's his G1 core? It's awful. It's really bad. I mean, like, watch. I should have it somewhere, I think. Might be the gold version of that, but... There we go. Protection from laser turrets and beam lasers. While attacking, every 15 seconds you disappear and restore health. And the protection goes up. So, the rest of it doesn't change. Just the protection from beam lasers and... So, this protection from laser turrets and beam lasers goes up. But every 15 seconds you disappear and restore 7% health. That's standard no matter what. I wonder what difference between that and the gold version. Yeah, so the gold version is the same as the G metal apart from protection. Wow. Yeah, you might as well use the silver one then. Look, 4% difference. What's the silver do? Oh, this is actually, it's so bad, it's laughable. I told you this. I told you it's so bad. I couldn't say word for word, but I remember looking at it going, well, that ain't getting used. And look, the silver, does it have the same? Oh my days, so bad. Cool. Yeah, it's a sad G1 core, yeah. And then lastly, I just wanted to, well, not lastly, a couple of things. Well, to always touch upon the 5-star economy, and talk about the new 5-star bots. So the new 5-star bots that were announced, we'll go back to the newsletter and go through them because they're not in game yet, sadly. So the new 5-star bots that are announced are Blue Streak and Wild Rider, Leo Prime, Predacon Inferno, Beachcomber and Deluge, Hover and Lockdown, Nose Cone and Drillhorn. Now, there was one big problem with this batch, which really surprised me. And that's that every single bot in the batch has been available in-game previously. And again, it just sort of feels like they've really rushed it out by using bots that they know didn't need any work. So, Blue Streak and Wild Rider came out literally about 10 months ago. Maybe 11 months ago. I waited far too long for them. Leo Prime came out in early January, I think. Beachcomber around late February, March. And so these three bots, the game, literally been in the game minimum 6 months. So I understand that Beachcomber and Deluge, 6 months probably been about the right time. Leo Prime, Predacon Inferno probably a bit too longer. And Blue Streak and Wild Rider has been far too long, 10 months. So they're sort of playing catch up now, which they should have done a long time ago. They should have realised this when they started doing these legacy batches that they would have to start including these in 5-star batches and didn't early enough. So now they're playing catch up. But the problem is that if you've done every endurance for the last year and you've done every legacy bot from the last year, when this batch gets released, nothing. There's literally nothing for you. Alright, yeah, first world problems, whale problems, I get it. But it's still a bit disheartening for people that are waiting for the 5-star batch and it comes out and like, oh, I can't wait. And then you find out the 5-star batch is coming out and there's nothing for you. But this is going to massively change the 5-star economy, this batch alone. For the simple reason that there's going to be some top players that have got quite a big stack of 5-star shards and they've still got nothing to use it on. Now, later on in the year, there's going to be some more batches like this, with only maybe a couple of bots in it, I imagine. And so, I imagine again, they're going to have over swarm of 5-star shards. And then when the 5-star combiners come out, they're going to be able to go and pick whatever bots they want to complete the 5-star combiners. Then you'll have players like myself, who didn't go for Blue Streak, who didn't go for Leo Prime, didn't go for Beachcomber, didn't go for Hover and Lockdown, didn't go for Nose Cone. And so this batch now, it's got 5 pretty good bots in it. I would say 4 out of the 5 are pretty A-tier bots. Amazing must-have bots. And so the problem I've got is, I need 25,000 shards to pump into this. I've then got to level them as well. I've just got light speed. And so I've got a lot of bots to level. Whereas some people have got none. And so some people are going to be cashing in every single shard they have to get these bots. I would go as far as saying this is probably the best batch in the game in terms of not having a single bot that is bad. Hover and Lockdown are pretty good. The rest are B or A tier. I'd probably say A actually. And so people are going to hunt this batch down and try and complete it and using 25,000 shards to do this, cashing in everything they've got, whereas the vice versa, the other side of the coin, are going to have maybe 40, 50k shards and nothing to spend it on, and there's nothing in between. And so I just think that Space Ape have managed it quite poorly. They should have at least put 2 bots in there that were not 5-star versions already. I think that they should have left out. I personally think they should have left Beachcomber and Deluge out of it, and they should have maybe put 6 bots in the batch. I don't see why they couldn't. It was available in the China server, 6 bots, so it is doable, and they could have put 2 new bots in there quite easily. But I feel like they've just reacted very quickly to it. I think they've rushed it. I don't think they really thought about it. And I don't know. I mean, I'm quite pleased with the batch because I don't have any of them. And I'm pleased to get them. But I know a lot of top players are not. That's a big problem. So, I would rather than put a couple more bots in there. But it is what it is now. Sadly, it's been done. That's what it is. But let me know what you think of the batch. We're probably going to do a crystal opening video with my daughter, maybe with Jake, next week. So sadly, because the batch is out tomorrow morning, I have to wait until next week to actually even open my crystals. So, yeah, join next week where we open some crystals, giving some codes away, and maybe even more. So, yeah, join me next week, guys. Let me know what you think of the batch in the comments. And if you're pulling from this batch, then good luck. Tracks are sport only, but I have to pull his hub for. Yeah, it's a bit. Nah. Yeah, Lumina's put that does take the excitement away for those that have already got them in batch 16. She released 2 batches. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah. Gee, what happened with that ding dong with Callum over Discord 2-3 weeks back over the weekend? Which one? I remember discussing something with him, but I've been happy. But I don't hold it personally. I'll still talk to Callum. Do you know what I mean, like that? Like, yeah, I don't hold it against him by any means. You know, I think by the end of it, we started laughing and joking about it. You know, I think he said something that was quite I didn't like. I think he said something along the lines of, if you don't like it, don't play it, and something like that. I think. And I sort of hate that mentality. You know, I think it's really, really poor. It was something along that. Something around what he typed. And I can't remember what it was now. But yeah. Aurora Dawn, thanks for joining. See you later. Cool. And lastly, so last off, I just wanted to talk about something, again, sort of came from base design. And something I sort of thinking about and someone sort of touched upon in playtest, and I thought that's a good point that a lot of people know about. And I thought, I wonder which is, you know, whether that is better or not. I don't want to give too much away without actually discussing it, but so a while back now there was. So let me get my test account back up again. So, a while ago now, there was an update that sort of sneaked in that not everyone sort of saw. We were talking about anti-air guns not being too effective. And the H decided what they're going to do was they're going to make it so the anti-air guns could actually attack ground targets at the same time. And I kind of forgot about this until I started seeing a few base designs pop up using anti-air. And at first I thought, what an idiot, using anti-air. Then I thought, hang on a minute, I wonder if they're actually as effective as I thought it would be. And so I started to compare them between the laser ricochet cores. So the laser ricochet cores increases damage by 13.5%, and the bounce to a second target, dealing 50% of that damage to that target as well. So 500 damage per second, and deals 250 to the next target as well. Excuse me. And then we've got the anti-air core, which has a 50% attack range, which is really important. Keep that in mind. It gives a 46% damage increase, which means it's to 725 damage to airborne targets and 20% less to grounded targets. So I think that is then 70 to 150, so about 580 damage compared to laser ricochet doing 500 there or thereabouts. So to a single target, they tend to do quite similar. So where Laser Ricochet obviously does a bit better is against a second target and it bounces. But I think that the range increase from the anti-air is quite considerable. And I sort of decided to do a test, and you'll see that by this. So I've picked up Pipes and Slug, who are very similar. I think there's about 300 health between them. There's not much, and I thought I'm going to put them both on these new defenses, bottom resource buildings here, and hopefully we can see who takes the most damage. So let me just put a Slug down there, Pipes down there. I think the first thing that you'll notice is that the anti-air is attacking straight away, where the Ricochet can't stretch. And I think this is probably important for like gunners, ranged bots, things like that. And you can see already that although we know they're doing similar damage, that the anti-air is actually taking more damage to Slug already because of its range. Now, if we just move the guns a bit slow, a bit nearer, so we can actually compare the two in terms of damage for getting range. Let's have a look at the Ricochet. So let's test the game with the Ricochet now being in range of the bot. So you see now the Ricochet is doing a lot more damage because now it's in range. Let's fast forward a bit. So now you can see that the damage they're taking is pretty much very similar. There's not much difference in the two. But I think the big difference is the range of the anti-air. And obviously, this has the benefit of doing a lot more damage to air targets. So I would advise you guys that if you're running a base at the minute and you've got anti-air cores, I'd consider actually equipping them rather than the Laser Ricochet. It's going to do a lot more damage to air targets. It's got a lot better range and generally going to do a lot more damage. So a top tip for those out there that are trying to do their own base designs. We talked about earlier about base design, stuff like that, and about improving your designs. I would literally get rid of all ricochets, all attack cores, and simply go with anti-air. Not just for anti-air, but to just do more damage at a decent range to whatever bots are in range. So top tip. So yeah. Even I was surprised how good they were. So I've literally, on my live account, you can see, I've literally today changed all my cores to anti-air. And I think this is a big difference between, you know, top players and lower players. Is that top players can do this. A new meta will come out and they can literally go, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to change that and just change. Dead quick. Whereas newer players might have to go and change that core. You know, in fact, I'm going to change this around already. I'm going to swap these around. Ooh. I want a mortar there and I can't. Oh no. I hate not being symmetrical. But I've got 5 of them, haven't I? So I think I'm going to have to do that. But I don't like that because I don't like having that there. But I've got a mortar here. Oh no, I want a mortar there. I want a mortar there. And that's symmetrical. Yay! There we go. I'm quite happy now. Actually, they're like that, yeah. Ta-da! Yeah, I quite like that. I'm going to change this actually. I'm not too keen on it, so I'm going to make some changes to it. But yeah. They need to remove the 5-star combiner cost. I agree with that, Berserk. I agree, but I don't think it's going to happen, sadly. Queen T's put swap Beachcomber with Skydiver, Nose Cone with Trailbreaker. No, they had to keep Nose Coning because he's the earliest bot. It'd have to be Huffer for Trailbreaker, but it's not going to happen now. Cuddy Fox, half of my turrets have prime cores on them, and it's not because of the damage, it's because not in their place on my base. Yeah, but don't forget that they're the easiest defense and one of the lowest HPs to take out, what, 8,000 health compared to, you know, every other defense pretty much. So I would not put prime cores on turrets, especially not Megatronus. So there's too easy to take out. I would put all your prime cores on shock towers and cannons, as many as you can. Because look, cannon, cannon, shock tower, shock tower. Honestly. The only reason I haven't got them on here is because I need them in front of my base. And if I put them on everything like that, then yeah, they're all going to white out the front. I don't want to put cannons at the back. So, yeah. Berserk, but weird, so they went from anti-air, not targeting ground, to maintaining a better range, no trade-off. Yeah, literally. Literally. Well, that is it for tonight's stream, guys. And I just wanted to say that I was going to give away some 5-star shards and maybe a side pass tonight with the crystal pulls. That was the plan. Then I thought, well, I did say I'd give some giveaways to people that are not claimed it this week. But then wanted to do that, so I'm literally going to do it next week, guys. I'm literally going to give some 5-star shards out and maybe a cyber pass as part of the crystal pulling next week. I think I've got 3 pulls. And I think that what I might do is I might just do, you know, give away some Sunstreaker Wozza stash crystals and build the prizes up for people that get 1 guess or 2 guesses or 3 in a row. And work it out that way. And try and get some shards away. So make sure you tune in next week where we'll be doing some giveaways again around the crystal pulling. It'll be pretty cool. My kids will be on stream to help me pull the crystals. They obviously get a bit of pocket money for pulling the right bots. So yeah, join me next week for that. It'll be pretty fun. But that is it for this week, guys. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget, if you want to go and see my videos, I have a lot of members videos that I put up before I sort of post to the public. They're always available to the public eventually. Some could be a couple of weeks. Some could be a couple of months. All depends on how relevant they are to the timing. Things like that. If you want to go and see them right now, then consider becoming a member, guys, and supporting the channel. Other than that, the very least you can do, guys, hit the subscribe button and support the channel that way. Don't forget to hit a like on the video or the stream before you leave. And thanks for tuning in. See you next week, guys. And as always, guys, peace out.